Now we see the Madame Uchechi, the Kizito's mama, coming into the room after she had gone to see her barrister. She came back with Kizito's documents, holding it close to her chest like she was holding a baby. She was like, oh, her baby. Oh, Hakizito. Hakizito is gone. She digs her hand into the pouch, brings out his passport, and looks at his face, kisses it. And I said, oh, Kizito, her baby is gone. She can't believe he's dead. She can't believe he's gone. She's just trying to remember what is the remains of him. And then she brings out his phone. Maybe she can remember him by looking at his picture. And as she began to peruse through the phone, imagine what she saw. Her eyes popped open because she saw the video, the nudes, the video of the lovemaking session. Remember that it was on his phone. So she's with his phone now. As she listened to it and watched it, she now said, oh, the nudes. Oh, yes, she has gotten it. She got a light bulb moment that she is going to deal with Angel. She's going to release it, and she's not going to deal with her with any form of mercy. She is going to fight back. Now, what do you think is going to happen to Angel? She thinks that the nudes have been kept at bay, but she doesn't know it's in the hand of her mother-in-law. That means that she is going to release it. We're going to see that in episode 52. Yes, she's going to make bloggers share this all over the internet to try and damage, the reputation of Angel, to cause her to lose her reputation, lose her job, lose her ambassadorship, and lose everything, and then eventually go to jail. This woman means business. She's not taking it lightly. Yes, she ain't. She's not taking it lightly. See, Angel come into the room, and as she steps into the room, she immediately begins to hear all the sounds of everything that has gone on between her and Kizito. It's just like as if the room was haunted. She remembered the first night, the second day of their marriage, how he began to tell her that she will never be a model, and he said, no, you cannot change me. And then he gave her a dirty slap. Can you just imagine that? She was just reminiscing and thinking and wondering at what kind of mess did she even ever get herself into. That is it. She began to remember how this guy told her that you gotta know how to respect me as your husband. And she said, never, you will not change me. Nothing's gonna change me. But look at it. Look at it in episode 51. That was episode 1. We're in episode 51, and she is looking back at everything that has happened and all the mistakes and all the wrong choices she has made in this marriage. And then she remembered how he dealt with her, bit her, and threw her to the bed. And she's wondering, how did I get myself into this? She's putting her hands on her hands and wondering that, if she has a choice, she would never take this path. But here she is in this path, remembering all the bad things that Kizito has done to her. Kizito has been a menace in her life and has tortured her time without number. She cannot even stop thinking, because like as if the house is haunted. She has killed Kizito, but Kizito is still with her. How do we deal with this situation? She falls to the floor, sobbing like a baby, wondering that could she ever correct this mistake she has made in her life? It looks like it's not going to be able to be corrected. And thinking about Kizito, do you think Kizito is really dead? But this looks like a couple of 1 or 2 days after he's dead. He's not back yet, so maybe he's truly dead. We will find out. Meanwhile, Kizito's mother, just like I told you in the last episode, that she is going to seek respite, has come to her barrister, her lawyer, and is telling him that, look, you need to deal with this case. But the guy is telling her the truth, that, look, you need to remember that Angel is also a fighter. Angel is also a fighter, so it's going to be tough. She said, look, I don't care. Whatever it is, I need you to dig deep. I need you to go beyond your brief and dig out all the can of worms. The guy said, yeah. She said, look, I don't want to care. I don't want to know. All I want is respite and judgment. Now, I'm wondering, this evil woman is looking for judgment. Judgment about what? Judgment about what? Your son has killed your daughter-in-law several times, and now she did what he did to her, and you were complaining and trying to fight? The guy said, look, your son is barely just a week dead. You've not even buried him. Are you considering doing this? Dragging him up and down before his burial? She said, look, she doesn't care. She's not bothered about that. All she wants is judgment. She wants Angel to suffer because Angel is the one that killed her son. Now, but we all know that Angel did this in self-defense because Kizito was going to rip her open and destroy and damage her womb. But you see, the mother doesn't want to care. All she knows is that she is grieving her son. But the man said, look, the truth of the matter is that it's going to need a lot of work. It's going to need a lot of going to different places and getting different people. Are you ready for this? Are you ready to open the can of worms? She said, look, she has nothing to lose anyway. Her son is gone. So she doesn't care. Uchechi has nothing to lose. All she wants is to be able to give. Before she gives a befitting burial to her son, she wants to give a befitting answer to those that killed her son. That's all she's thinking about. Then the guy said, okay, if that's what you want, it's just going to cost you a lot of money. She said, no problem. She is ready to do it because she wants Angel to suffer. She wants Angel to be fed with sorrow morning, afternoon, and night as her breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She will stop at nothing. The guy said, okay, if that is what you want. This barrister knows that it's going to be a tough case. It's going to be a very hard one. But he said, okay, you see, the truth is, even the devil, if he puts down all the money, he might be able to see God. He knows that this is going to be a tough one to crack. And she is looking because she knows that this guy is seeing behind the walls. Look at how he's smiling at her. That, are you ready to pay everything that will get you on top? That means this guy knows that they don't really have a case because her son is the one who has gone down because of his evil deeds. But this guy is going to begin to lie and cause a lot of problems and dig out a lot of things and try to connect Angel to his death. Now we see Angel looking beautiful, looking colorful. I mean, this is a woman who just murdered. Would I call it murdered? Stabbed? Or defended herself from her husband. And she's looking beautiful. And the mother is saying, oh my God, you're looking lovely. You're looking lovely. After everything that has happened, you're looking good. She said, well, she is so happy that Omar is back. She's so happy that everything has happened like this and she is going to start facing her life. And she's so happy that Omar is back. That's the most important thing to her, that her cousin, her sister who came fighting for her is also back because she had gone to the land of the depressed and has come out of it and she's alive. She now said, look, the next thing right now is that she needs to fight back. The mother said, what? What? You need to take a break. You just lost your husband. Or you just killed your husband. He's not even buried and you're talking about fighting? She now said, look, what's going to happen is that she needs everybody to vacate this place and come and join her in that house because she wants to frustrate her mother-in-law to get her out. And then look at how they were startled that they should vacate this house and come and join her in her house. And look at even the face of Jeff is like, what? The mother said, but that's your matrimonial home. How can you bring us all into that place? I mean, you need to wait till your husband is buried. And before you start any of this, you just want to was. She said, look, at this point, she wants to get on with her life. But the only way to get on with her life is to get that woman out of that house. And as far as she's concerned, it's her house now. So she wants to make sure that she strangles, virtually strangle the woman out of the place so that she will not harm her because she knows that Kizito's mom is going to fight tooth and nail, not physically, but she's going to do everything to try to ruin her. And she is not going to sit down and wait for that. And Amma said, oh, yes, of course, you know that. You know that. She knows you killed her son. So she's not going to play small. She's going to go ahead and try to do something against you. Even the mother corroborated that. Look, what if your mother-in-law does all manner of things against us? She said, look, that's the more reason why she needs them as a team to come together and help her force her out of the house. That's the only step she wants to take right now. And then the mother was wondering, oh, is this going to be a good step? Is this going to be the right thing to do? Then she said, look, at this point, she doesn't want to think about any other thing. She wants to get on with her life. She wants to claim her life back, and she doesn't want to begin to think. And then Jeff told her, funnily enough, that, do you know that George is waiting around the corner? He's looking to take you to be his lawfully wedded wife, because right now, since Kizito is gone, that's what he's waiting for. She now said, no, I'm not interested in that. I'm not even interested in getting to another relationship. Why would I be interested in that? She doesn't want anything of such. Contrary to what they think she wants to jump into the hand of, Mr. George. Wow. Then Oma said, look, remember George has been supportive. He's been the one doing all this, going up and down because he has an ulterior motive. He wants to marry you. She now said, no, I would have nothing of that. I cannot begin to mortgage my freedom for another man right now. No. I don't want to think about that. That's not even in my agenda. She said, look, as far as I'm concerned, I am not interested in this. All I want is for you to come and help me first, Madam Uchechi, out of the house. Then Norma said, okay, yes, but you know that since your mother-in-law knows you were the one that stabbed him, she's also going to fight tooth and nail. And remember, George is waiting. Why are you going to deny him of all of this? Why are you going to deny him of yourself? She said, no, at this point, we need to go back and face the thing that is on the table, which is to get Mrs. Uchechi out. After that, we can now start talking about anything else. For now, I don't want to talk about it. Now, my people, what do you think? I mean, George has been there, supportive, going up and down because he wants her for himself. Don't forget that this guy stayed away, came back at the wrong time, found out that she's married to another man, and now he wants her, but she doesn't want him. And then, of course, Jeff said, okay, whatever you want, we will be a team and back you. This is the face of grief. His mother is grieving. Oh my God. Do you think she needs to grieve? She is the one that created this predicament for herself. Now let's go and see how we can deal with this. Please go ahead and give a like to this video and let's get started in it. Look at it. Look at her face. She is grieving, telling them that nobody can do this to her son and get away with it. And here she is seeing George. George has come. George, the one who wants to come and be the king over her life, has come into her space. He entered, even without even giving her a hug, because she was like, what are you doing here? He entered in the house, looking around the house, sits down comfortably like the king that he is. And then Madam Angel comes close and says, what are you doing here? And then looks at her and said, why are you asking that question? Why are you asking that question? Can't I just come and visit you? She said, yes, you can, but why are you here? You didn't give a call. You didn't tell me you were coming. And I said, look, what are you still doing here? Kizito is gone. He's ended. The marriage is ended. Why are you still here? Where do you want me to be? This is her house. I mean, yes, Kizito is gone, but legally they're married. That means that this is their house and she is not going anywhere. She said, why are you talking like this? You don't need to be here. You need to get out of this place. This house is haunted. She says, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Where do you want me to go? He now said, look, why don't you go to your mother's place? Maybe come over to his place. And I said, no, nonsense. Look, this house may be haunted, but she's bigger than whatever wants to haunt her. She's bigger than whatever bad things have ever happened to her. And the guy said, look, why are you doing this? Both of us know that Kizito is a bad guy. He never was there for you. He now said, yes, she knows that. Kizito is definitely not the best of human beings, but nobody knows that. All people know is that she was married and now he's dead. Nobody knows the in-betweens. Nobody knows the in-betweens. Why would you say that she should leave? Nobody knows the inside story. He even tried to grab her hand and of course she pulled her hand away. She said, look, she is a brand. She has an image to protect. She cannot in any way run to his house at this time. What would she be implying? Oh, her husband just died and she ran into the hands of a lover. Oh, that is wrong. She has a brand to protect. She's a brand ambassador for a company. She has to think twice before she takes any decision. So because of that, that is not going to work. The guy was heartbroken. He was heartbroken. He couldn't believe that she would not want any of him. And she said, look, there is nothing she can do. She cannot do that right now. It's just going to worsen the entire thing. She said, but what? It was about to touch that. No. Listen, I cannot do whatever you're saying right now because it's going to make the entire thing worse. We need to allow everything happen. I said, are you saying that you want to mourn Kizito? He tried to hold her again and she got up from him. He said, no, I am not just saying this. I will still have to mourn him. That's what she said. She has to mourn Kizito even because he is the father of her unborn child. Can you see how she stood up and was resolute about her decision? Of course, he knew he had no choice. He had to get up and go because he knows that Angel has a mind of her own and she's going to do whatever she wants to do. He now had to leave. Very heartbroken, he had to leave. And she, of course, had to watch him go. And then, of course, she went upstairs because she knows that at this point, it's only the right thing for her to be here. She cannot be in her mother's house. Neither can she be in his house. It's going to be seen as something else and termed as something else. And then they'll be able to slam that particular accusation on her. So she went upstairs. Now we see that something's about to happen. This is Madame Flora's house. There was a knock on the door very brusquely, and she was like, come in. The door is not locked. She was wondering, who could that be? She said, come in. The door is not locked. And the door started opening gently. Who is this? She looked with an eye sternly, and it was, oh my God, it is Kizito's mama. What has she come to do here? This is terrible. This is terrible. She comes in with an indignant face. She is here to face Flora. We're going to see the fight. We're going to see the fight of the ex-mother-in-law and the ex-wife. Oh my God, it's going to be rough. It's going to be tough. You guys need to see episode 52 because it's going to be hot.